Welcome back to my channel. It's your man, the Sensible Guna, and I'm back with another video. This time we're talking Manchester United versus Leicester City. Before we get into it, please can you press the like button and subscribe to my channel so that you get notifications for every time I drop a new video. I'm going to be making videos about everything football and giving you my perspective from an Arsenal fan point of view. And today, like I said, we're talking Manchester United versus Leicester City. So let's get into it. First of all, I think Leicester City versus Manchester United is going to be a really tough game. I feel like Leicester are now fighting to get in the top 6 in the Premier League. They've got a really good squad. They had some really good transfers this transfer window. In comparison to Manchester United, who really should be fighting for the title, but this year I think they'll find it difficult to get in the top 6, not to talk of the top 4. So one of the teams that are hot on the heels of Manchester United and every other team in the top 6 is Leicester City, and I think the other one is going to be Wolverhampton Wanderers. But when you look at both teams, I feel like this is going to be really a tough game for Manchester United. The midfield is really lacking, to be fair. Especially with Paul Pogba now injured. I don't know. I think that's the only real top quality midfielder they have, and one of the few world-class players they have in the whole squad, to be fair. So now without Paul Pogba in the team, I think they're going to find it really difficult, to beat Leicester City. If you look at the midfield, you've got McTominay in there, Jesse Lingard, and now that Pogba is not there, is it going to be Matic? I think Matic, his best days are well over. He's been a really good top midfielder for the Premier League in the past years, but now I think he's close to retirement. Age has caught up with him, and I don't think he's playing his best at the moment. So when you look at that midfield, I don't see Manchester United dominating many Premier League teams with that midfield, to be fair. They've struggled already this season. I know they've played brilliant football in little patches, but they've not been able to sustain a high possession game for a long time now. And when you look at that midfield, it's not the kind of midfield that Leicester City will be worried about, especially when you look at the Leicester City midfield, when you have Hamza Choudhury, a young player who is coming up really well. He started playing really well last season, and I think he's picked up the same form for this season. And you've got people like Yuri Tillemans, who everybody wanted, including Manchester United. And this is a really strange time for Manchester United, man. Manchester United wanted Yuri Tillemans, and he chose to go to Leicester City. That should tell Manchester United fans a lot about their team at the moment. But moving on from that, they've also got another really top player that came from, I think it was Sampdoria from Italy, Dennis Pratt. I think Arsenal was interested in Dennis Pratt at one point, but decided to go for Ceballos instead. So they have I think when you look at both midfields, I think Leicester City have got the better midfield of the two. And to be fair, that's where games are won in the Premier League. If you dominate in the midfield, it's most likely you're going to win the game. Looking at the attack as well, especially with someone like Anthony Martial, who is out injured. I don't know if he's back. He's going to be back for this game. But if he's out, then he's going to be Marcus Rashford playing as a striker. And Marcus Rashford is not a really prolific player at the moment. He might get there someday, but right now he's not the guy who's going to get you 20 goals a season. So with him out, Daniel James has scored a couple of goals this season. I don't think he's going to score that many, but to be fair, he started really well. So if you see Daniel James, Marcus Rashford, and I don't know who else is going to come into the side, but that doesn't tell me that there's a lot of goals in that season, in that team, compared to Leicester City, who have Jose Perez, who's coming. He's a good player and a goal scorer as well. And you've got Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy doesn't seem to be getting old. Everybody talks about his age, but he keeps proving everyone wrong every season. He keeps scoring goals every season, and I think he's a top player, and he's on fire right now. So James Maddison, that guy's just world class, man. I don't know why a top team hasn't gone in for him yet, but yeah. So when you look at both teams in midfield and attack, I think Leicester City have got the better team at the moment, and I think they're going to give Manchester United a really tough game. Defensively, both sides are not the best. I feel like Manchester United bought a couple of really good defenders to show up their defense. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, that's good. That guy's gonna be a baller, man. He's a top defender. Harry Maguire, well, that's Harry Maguire. I don't know have much to say about him. World class. Well, I don't know if it's world class yet, but he will be world class, I believe, in the future. At least he's got the world record transfer for a defender at the moment. Luke Shaw is injured, so that's going to be Ashley Young coming in at left back. So when you look at the Manchester United squad, man, it doesn't fill you with so much confidence, to be honest. But looking at Leicester City, they've got some really good players. Soyuncu is still trying to settle into their central defense, but they've got Johnny Evans, who is a really experienced centre back in the Premier League, and who's really underrated. I think he's been a very very good defender, but people don't rate him that much. I don't know why, but I think he's been a tough defender, and Leicester City are lucky to have him. And you have a good right back in Ricardo Pereira, and Ben Chilwell is coming back from injury as well. So I believe Ben Chilwell is going to come back straight into the team. And yeah, man, Leicester City are looking really tough this season, and I think they'll give Manchester United a really good game. Well, Manchester United are at home, so I don't think Leicester will just walk in there and beat them. So I think I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this one. I think both defenses are not the best, and both teams have got some attacking threat. But I'm not sure about that with Pogba out and Anthony Martial. I don't know where the goals will come from, but let's wait and see. Anyway, I think my prediction says 2-2, and I will just watch and see what happens. Anyway, it's been your man, the Sensible Gona, and just like and subscribe to my channel so that every time I make a new video, you can catch up to it. I'm out.